Hello guys! In this video, I'm gonna talk to you about Matías De Stefano. Who is this guy? And he's one of the persons that influenced me a lot also during my trip in Latin America, especially in Argentina. So it's important for me for you to explain who he is. So I discovered matchas, I think, on 2023 or 22 or something like that. And I discovered him on the Gaia um, channel. So it's just like Netflix, but for personal development and spirituality. And I saw him in the series called Initiation, and he talked about Atlantis and a lot of things and sacred geometry. And I discovered him through this series, and he kind of answered a lot of my questions, but for me in a very logical way. And so a lot of things that I start to like quite understand or guessing on how things is functioning in this world, while he's giving very clear like explanation. And I really like that with him, everything is interconnected. And also I discovered sacred geometry with him. So who is him? You can have a look also on internet. You can Google him. He's like now very famous, and we can find a lot of videos of him on YouTube. Um, and so he's a guy that like remembered a lot of his lives. So I won't say past life, because in the the notion of time is only for this material dimension, for the mental, but in fact in the spiritual realm, everything is on the same time. There's no past, present, or future. There's only one time, which is now. So he remembered or connected with a lot of information of his lives, other parallel lives and dimensions. And he saw, well, he was in contact with his guides from when he was a kid. And so that's the interesting part also, because, well, I do not see all of these like through my real eyes, but I think what I understand that he he saw his guide like that. Um, and from when he was a kid, he was like having a life like everyone. He discovered with time that not everyone just like him, seeing guides like walking, like when he was going back home, he would have guides waiting for him, asking, so how is your day. And then he would like learn about how to be in relationship with this world through his guides, just like a therapist. Like, okay, what emotions are you going through, things like that. And also his guides also teach him how to be, how to feel, to be connected with everything, because everything is a vibration, everything has information, and we can channel information from everything. And so he learned this from when he was a kid. So I just tell you that in this video I'm gonna talk about a lot of things about matches that inspired me. So and maybe if you can stick on those stories, it could also inspire you, because with matches, for me, like, he opened for me a portal of kind of a new world, of a world that the my former mental world would would not imagine, could not imagine, like what is a guide. Or I don't see any guide here. But there are people who live that, right? um, and and so like he can live like kind of fantastic stories in his life incarnated here, and I love the magic that he's living. And so I'm gonna tell you all these magics that I learned from him through his stories. Okay, so come back to Matthias. Um, he was like connected with the guides, and one day, if I understand well, it's like when he was 7 or something like that. He got like see a big eye coming and boom like that, and that moment he felt that all his bodies is tearing apart, have a lot of emotions, and he started to remember a lot of things. Anyway, his guide has already told him that he will one day remember a lot of his lives. And so he, when he was a kid, just like he remembered a lot of his life with, emotions. Like he feel he have the life that he's a woman, and he has his family. He watched people die or things like that. He also have lives where he was a like an electron. That was his like most excited life that he could remember. It was just like like this. He also remembered the a moment when he was just like a ghost, and like I understand that he was like being stuck there for a while. Um, and one of his main life, he has two main life. One when he was like a Viking period, something like that. But we do not know a lot about that story. He would tell a lot of his stories linked to Atlantis, and to what we call Egypt now. And so he would give a lot of transmission about that, how was life that moment, what is the initiatic path through the Nile, how do we use the pyramids, and what's the meaning of the pyramids, things like that. Organization of the societies, the beliefs at that moment, etc. So he remembered these lives, and he was like learning to go through. And what I learned a lot from him is also like the way that you remember is through emotion. So let your emotion comes, and it will teach you. Then you will remember like the lives and the events through the emotion that brings to you all the information linked. Okay. And so I really experienced that, so I can tell you really to be like honor your emotions, and learn to listen to its stories. And then one day the guide would say, okay, now we gonna you're gonna be disconnected, because you need to learn how is it to live as a human, normal human. And like that he was disconnected, and so he go to university, because he knows that his life he need to make like working in education, doing like transmission, things like that. And yes, also one other thing is like when he was a kid, people would say that he has a lot of imagination. He thought also he has a problem, and he's like a schizophrenia or something. But when he go to a psychiatrist, and he telling the person what he knows, the person would like taking notes, and oh, okay, that's exactly the thing that I was trying to understand. But now that you explained to me, I understand it. But where did you learn or read it? And he said, he doesn't read anything. He just know it. He just remember it. And he explained all like the profound things in quantum physics and things like that. And so finally, I think that the one who got the the guidance would be the psychiatrist who taking the notes from Matthias. Yeah, so just continue to the story. And when he was like in university, so disconnected, and so he learned to 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 study like the normal way and having a diploma in order to function in the world, having being afraid and having all the like the beliefs of the normal modern society. And then one day he was in class, and then he saw like a guy going through the wall and coming and say to him, now it's time. Now you need to quit university and start doing what you are meant to do. And he said, no, no. Uh, I mean, university, I need to finish my degrees like in 2 or 1 year or something like that. I'm not going nowhere because if I want to do something, I need to have that diploma, that master or something, because that's how things function. And this guy said, no, you don't need that. But Master said, yes, need to. I don't know how to do something else, you know. And also, he was like struggling, and then 30 minutes later, he was like waking up and just realized that he was lying down and like a crazy man, drawing like symbols, triangles, pyramids, and things like that, and like just like a crazy. But he wasn't even being aware about that. And then he was like saying, okay, no, 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 I'm sure I gonna struggle and I want to finish my university degree. And then after he 1 week later, he like taking back consciousness or something like that, and he just found out that he's in the psychiatric hospital. And so the guide would tell him, well, this is your last chance. Okay, so just stop here, because it's not to make you to be afraid like, oh, the guys, they are the bad guy, and like how I say, dictatorial, and like want you to do that, and you need to absolutely to listen to it. No, your guide is like your higher self, or your yourself in other dimensions. They are guiding you. They are you. So they don't want anything bad for you. It's just like you don't remember that you are alive, and you got kind of a contract together to work together, because you are so disconnected. It's just like you are living your life, and then something happens and you just forgot everything, and then your friends or family you do not recognize anymore. It's just like that. And so the guy said, well, much as we're doing that, because before you told us that no matter what happens in any cost, if one day he's going out of alignment, out from his path, please in any cost bring me back. That's what he told his guide before he was disconnected. So that's why the guides are doing that. It's not because it's not against of his free will. It was like to respond to his first free will, is that no matter what, in any cost, just bring me back. So that's what happened. And so the guides that trying again and again, and then said, okay, that's last chance for you. And so Macha said, okay, okay, I listen to you guys, okay. So he quit university, and the guy said, now you need to go to Spain. Then Macha would say, do whatever you want. I follow, but I do not do any action now. If you want me to go to Spain, well, I don't have any money. I don't have any tickets to go there. So I don't know. I'm just staying at home. I'm just staying at home. And that evening, the phone rings. And that's a kind of a university in Spain calling, oh, apparently that you are speaking Catalan and we need someone to making translation or something like that, and we are paying all the tickets and things, so you just need to come, just like that. See, so that was also one of the stories that makes me believe that okay, those guides which are me in other dimension, they have all these capacities also to manifest, to make things happen, because it needs to happen, because it's in your path, it's what you choose to live. So no matter what, if it needs to happen, it's gonna happen, like through magic, like that. And I love the Matcha story because his life is only those kind of stories. Another example, just like he knows that he need to go to Rome, because Roma is amor in, in the contrary. And so like it's the amor, so the love that has been like underlined, disaligned, making to like the opposite. And so it's in the Vatican. And so because if you want to align things again, and also Catholicism, Christianism was a big actor for the change and for the all the influence on the earth, about a lot of beliefs, etc. So you need to understand that system. You need to go and see that system. So that's why he go to Roma, meeting the Pope. But he doesn't have any idea how to do that. And then his guide said, okay, then go to Roma, go to that place and wait. So he go to like the fountain or whatever, he waits there. Doesn't know what gonna happen. 2 days after, he make a post on Instagram, say, okay, waiting here to meet the Pope. And so in UK, someone was showing Matias message, and that person says in the bus, oh, there's Matias in Italy waiting to see the Pope. And there's another person in the bus saying, but I'm working in the secretary of the Pope. So I can give make connection. And so Matias was waiting on the fountain, and then his phone rings, and so it said, okay, this is the secretary of the Pope, what do you want? So Matias said, well, I need to talk to the Pope in person, and not through the phone, like that, or things like that. So finally he meet the Pope. They make some kind of rituals, and also each time he's doing rituals, there's always like lightnings. Well, I say always, but a lot of time, and even during my trip, I saw that, like lightning, and also like rains coming and so on. It means that there's a lot of energy going there. And there's also two other stories that I would like to tell you, because I feel that's so funny. The first thing is that, okay, the guide says that he needs to travel a lot of places on the world in order to activate the kundalini, or the energy or the chakras of the earth. So then he needs to like going on a trip, right? Asking for visas, and also having money to got the tickets. So he started making and building conferences in order to earn money. And so one guy just come up and say, hey, what are you doing? And say, well, I'm doing what you said. I'm trying to get money in order to buy the tickets and go wherever I need to go. The guy said, no, that's not what we ask you to do. You just only need to go to those places, and the rest of the things we are handling. He couldn't understand. Well, I understand how. Well, it's just like how you make that happen if you don't do anything to earn money, and pay for all that things. And that's the magical things in Matias stories that I like and that I keep in mind, and then say to myself, I want to live that one day. And so he canceled everything, and he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I need to cancel things like that. He only kept one thing, is just like the day after, he went to UK and doing conference, telling his story, and there's a woman raising her hand and say, Matthias, how many money do you need, how much do you need? And he said the amount, and she go doing the check. Okay, here's the money for you. Things like that. And Match's life is only things like that. And so it's happened so oftenly and so quickly, his manifestation, because it's his path. So he get used to it, and even things that he knows that he have to do something but he doesn't know how to do it, well, he get really confident because he knows that things will like spreading out and fold up for him, and it's just like a game, but how's things gonna happen? And I feel like I want to do that like him also. The other story is, well, he needs to ask visas in countries, and his guide was telling him, okay, important thing is you always telling the truth. And so during the visa interview, the guys asking him, why do you want to go to the United States? Well, he saw his guide come up and say, always telling the truth. And so, okay, well, I go to United States because United States is the chakra of the throat of the earth, and I need to go to activate that chakras in that place. The guy said, I don't understand anything that you say, but I give you the visa. Like that. So things like impossible things for your mental mind happens for Matthias because it has to be done. That's the thing. And so I kept all these stories in mind, and I say I want to live also all these magical things and the fantastic things that he's living his life, just like really science fiction. And also, well, his life is so rich. Like he was spending also 1 year every day going inside of the pyramid and channeling, and each day at the evening he was giving the transmission of his channeling, giving his understanding about that, and he's so rich. He's open a lot of information, of understanding, and you know what? No matter what, if it's true or not, crazy or not, the most important thing is what do you do with those information, with those stories. If it's like helps you to open your heart, to open your mind, to open to the world, and feeling more confidence, feeling enjoy, feeling excited, that's the most important thing. And that's what I kept from Matthias. And I said to me, one day I want to join him and live his adventures as he's living these adventures. I want to also to go to Egypt to do all that kind of things. Seems so like so excited, and his life is linked a lot with Egypt also. So, well, there's a lot about matches that I still didn't tell you, but those are the most excited and inspired stories that I have from matches that also always like inspired me and excited me and makes me want to go to this trip with Matthias presence. Because in the Peru trip, as I said, he would be present for 3 days, and there would be the ritual in Machu Picchu, and also like Peru is a specific place on Earth, but you will discover maybe later during the stories. But at that moment, I do not know what is the symbolism of Peru really, and what is it doing with, the chakras of the earth or whatever, but I know that there's something important there. And so that's the beauty of life, just like the movies, just like the series, just like a soap opera. You're gonna discover at the moment. Yeah, so stay tuned. Okay, guys, so thank you for listening and see you into the next episode. Bye.